I'm the president and you're fake news. And you know what I'll say to you? I'll say very nicely, I know you well. I know you well because I know the guy. I see what he writes. He's a total faker. So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's just a suggestion from a brilliant lab by a very, very smart, perhaps brilliant man. He's talking about sun. He's talking about heat. And you see the numbers. So that's it. That's all I have. I'm just here to present talent. I'm here to present ideas because we want ideas to get rid of this thing. And if heat is good and if sunlight is good, that's a great thing as far as I'm concerned.
John Harwood covering the White House for us today. John, number one, I'll defend the Washington Post correspondent. He's a damn good reporter. You don't have to do it. He's asking a very legitimate question. The president goes on the attack. That's what the president does. He goes on the attack when when someone tries to hold him accountable. Are they trying to walk this one back at all today?
Not really. You know, you could be generous to the president, John, and say it was irresponsible when he was up there touting hydroxychloroquine before there was evidence that it was going to be effective, and now we've seen some evidence suggesting maybe it was dangerous. This idea was so obviously nutty that the Lysol, the maker of one of the disinfectant products we were talking about, said the idea of ingesting a disinfectant is something that consumers absolutely should not do. And the fact that the president could offer this idea, this nutty idea, seemingly unaware of how nutty it was, puts into question an issue that we've danced around in the media for the last few years, which is the president all there? Is he connected with reality? One of his former national security aides, Brett McGurk, tweeted this morning, "You can't escape the crazy in this White House." Think about that. It's a dangerous thing to contemplate since President Trump is the leader of our fight against coronavirus.
Yeah, you can't. That's Brett McGurk, an established diplomat, worked in several administrations. You can't escape the crazy in this White House. They've just, again, the president likes to attack us. Look at his own words and the words of people who've worked closely with him. There was a change this morning. Maybe I'll call it a walk back, a correction, on the press briefing transcript put out by the White House. Walk us through that and why it matters.
Well, I think this was Deborah Birx trying to protect her reputation. The initial transcript that came out of the White House reflecting that back and forth when the president leaned over to the side and addressed her, had her saying that is a treatment. Instead, it was corrected this morning to say not as a treatment. Kind of the opposite statement from Deborah Birx. She's tried to be very diplomatic throughout this process and not contradict the president as much as possible. But this is one where she could not let stand the idea that she was countenancing this suggestion, which, again, is so obviously a crazy idea.
Yeah, and pictures do speak 1,000 words. It's a cliche, but it's also true. Now they've corrected the transcript to make sure that her reputation is intact, but just her face and her body language when the president was talking about sunlight and injecting, the possibility of injecting or ingesting, just that you don't need any words to understand how uncomfortable that made her. John Harwood, thanks very much. And a very important footnote here. The president's belief that warmth and sunlight would somehow help in the coronavirus fight is not new.
A lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat, as the heat comes in. Typically, that will go away in April. During the month of April, the heat, generally speaking, kills this kind of virus. Looks like by April, you know, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. You know, in April, supposedly, it dies with the hotter weather, and that's a beautiful date to look forward to.
Based on all signs that the problem goes away in April.
There's a theory that in April, when it gets warm, historically, that has been able to kill the virus.
Those statements